What's up guys, today we're going to check out Daya Maju in Bukit Mertajam. Let's go! We are now in the mainland side of Penang, which is called Bukit Mertajam, and for this area there's several concerns. Number one would be the flooding issues, which has been troubling the area so long already, but I still don't understand why people still choose to stay here. Number two would be the circulation pattern. It seems like a highway, but it comes with a lot of traffic lights. And Daya Maju seems to be a project located right next to this highway, as well as this abandoned mall at the site called City Parade. And first observation, the accessibility is not as friendly. First of all, if you come from this side, you need to make a U-turn before you come into here. But at the side, you'll be welcomed by a row of rundown houses. Then you have all these kampong houses, right, before you go into your development itself. Then on the other side, there'll be a tee-off, and you need to drive past all these commercial lots before you turn in again into this development. And when you drive past this road, there will be this group of houses in this very small plot of land. All residents will be sharing the control to this auto gate. So every resident, when they come back home, they get to control themselves using the auto gate. That raised certain questions about the maintenance of this gate, but I guess if it's heavy duty enough, it will be fine. And there will be a guard house. So Taman Daya Maju consists of 54 units of townhouses. And townhouses are this product in between apartments and landed terrace houses, right? So it's where this exact 22 by 74 feet house is shared by two owners. So there will be two access. Those are under the shadows. Let me find one. So the entire house will be split in an L form, 1.5 for the bottom unit and 1.5 for the upper unit. And for the driveway, it will be split into two. So this owner will share these two car parks in tandem, and the same applies to your neighbor as well. And I guess the main difference between living in a high-rise and a landed, right, would be the experience of you accessing to your car. If I were to buy groceries, if I were to fetch my kids, it's just way easier to access directly like that, compared to a high-rise living where I need to take the lift down to the car park, then you drive out the guard house and billy bala, right? You understand the whole drill of it. And what we have here will be concrete floorings. You have the low party wall that is concealed up. How I wish it can be opened up a little bit using perforated materials, but that's just me. Then you have the electrical metering, your letterbox here along with your water meter. Then for drainage system, is that very conventional drain everyone in every unit. They could have designed a little bit better. And since this is a stratified development, there will be some common areas, which is the roads as well as the building right behind next to the playground. You will have the management office as well as the event space. So it's going to be kept minimal, but that's the requirement for a strata development. So from the entrance itself, I like this very flat ceiling because of its width being so narrow, so you don't have additional beams across this space, so that adds up to the volume, the sense of space to it. Coming into the unit, there will be a step here to your foyer, and going into the foyer you will have the stairs. So for a townhouse of the upper unit, right, the main rejection for such units will be the stairs experience. And I think a lot of developers has been trying to crack that code by providing a storeroom at the bottom, which will be very helpful because all the heavy maintenance machinery things or bicycle or golf clubs, right, can be located below. So I wish that could have happened, but then this width of staircase is also critical because when you move stuff upstairs, your furnitures, imagine if you were to have a piano, right? Ooh. Another concern will be the clearance height because we also need to accommodate next door's concern, which is sharing this platform as well. So this is often the time, the place where a lot of designers got stuck. Here you have full tiles, right, with a timber handrail, and this will be the space. So today we'll be checking out this unit called Type B, which is 1607 square feet, 11 by 47 feet on the first floor, and overall it's 22 by 47 feet. Okay, and from the ground floor, this will be your car park, and immediately you have that stairway that connects you directly upstairs. So this will be first floor. Once you come up There will be a reading area and the dining area along with the kitchen. I like that there's a yard at the back, and in front will be the living room that connects you to the balcony. Going upstairs again, then will be the wider space where once you come in, there will be a family area. Wow, this is huge. And that you have 3 bedrooms. These 2 bedrooms will be sharing a common bathroom, and this principal space looks amazing because it absolutely utilized the entire 22 feet, which is amazing. So coming up immediately, you will have your dining space along with your kitchen, and I like that the unit is pretty bright because of its length. It's not as elaborated, right? So with a width of 3.1 meters, of a height which is around 3 meters as well, this space looks decent, and I think this is going to be the partition that is added. Right behind here, you will have your kitchen with a shared bathroom for your guests as well. So I like this approach of kitchen because it allows you to partition using a glass panel later on, okay? But in terms of space, I think it's very functional, okay? You can accommodate an L shape along with your fridge at the side, and you have a very generous window size, and this connects you to your yard space, okay? So here you can accommodate your washing machine, or you can put your compressors here as well. But just that I wish the job could be a little bit more gentle, and you look at the workmanship is not as refined. Then for the guest bathroom, it's full tile up, and that connects to the yard space, right, for natural ventilation. And they will be giving Johnson Swiss for basin. You have easy link for your WC. So in order to save space, you apply a door like this. From a dining space, moving forward, we have the living, and I like this width because if it's going to be wasted if it's merely a circulation space, so they can still have enough space to accommodate a desk. But one thing to point out, the structural designs for the unit is rather tidy. You don't see a lot of kinks, nor beams or columns whatsoever, right? It's really very tidy. And that's very critical, especially for a townhouse, because of the two completely different layout, right? They need to be in sync in terms of the structural designs. A lot of people just take it for granted, right? Why spend so much effort on structural designs for a landed house? But because you only have 11 by 47 feet, technically every inch counts. So for a unit like this, the upper floor unit is going to cost around 400-ish, and the lower ground unit will be slightly more expensive, which is 500 over 1,000. And that seems to be the main attractive point, because at this price range, a lot of people still think that can get a terrace house in mainland Penang. No more lah. 冇咁嘅歌仔唱啦. Connected to your living room, you will have this balcony, and separated by the steel handrail. This then will be the next debate for all the residents. Do we want to use them? I don't know, right? Because based on strata, can you use them? Technically, it's entirely up to the JMB. So when residents form their own management committee, it's entirely up to them to decide whether they want to use it or not. But the more important question is structurally, did the engineer allocate enough loading for that area? Moving upstairs, right? This will be the private zone. This is incredible. Check that out. So I also enjoy the ID treatments in camouflaging the structural system. Like you see, this is the plaster ceiling. But after having plaster ceiling, right, the unit height is still that amazing. Wow. Coming to this incredible height, that actually allows a lot of hot air to actually goes up. And on this floor, you will have a family hall here, and that window only applies to corner units. There will be 3 bedrooms here. Bedroom 1, 2, and 3. Let's check out the principal bedroom first. So with a width of 3.4 meters and a height of 3 meters, it's very spacious, along with this huge window panel that just opens up the entire space. So after allocating this king size bed, you still have a lot of space for your bedside tables. And check this width out. It's so nice. You almost forget that this is a townhouse, and that connects you to your own balcony via this sliding door, right? And that connects you to the view, which is not entirely exciting lah. Then next to it, this will be a partition added later on And I like that they do not put any facade space to waste. That opens up to the walk-in wardrobe. Wow! We have tilings for floor, and that connects you to the principal bathroom, which is fully tiled up. Johnson Swiss and easy flick. And it's pretty rare to come across generous spaces like this for all your cabinets. Moving on, we will have the 2 bedrooms on this side, and this will be the private zone just in case where you have business talks on the bottom, then this will be for the kids. Coming into this first bedroom, after that queen size bed, you can still accommodate the bedside tables. And this width is amazing. Usually this will be the wardrobe space, and then there will be a small passageway, but the width allows you to accommodate an extra storage area here while still having the desk. That's very nice. Also the generous windows, and that connects you to this shared bathroom. So I wish that the color combination between the floor tiles and the wall tiles could be a little bit different. But I think it's very spacious, natural ventilated, and the scale is pretty amazing because that's the main benefit for a shared bathroom. Well, again, it's a debate. Would you want 2 ensuite that is a little bit smaller, or you want 1 big massive toilet like this? That bathroom also connects to this last bedroom. Again, that only applies to the corner unit, and every bedroom is very well done. Tile flooring along with skirtings. Then you have plaster and paint for wall flush with the timber door frames. But here you get to witness the very crude workmanship lah. Lines are not straight and things like that. Timber doors for toilet is also not really that advisable because it's a wet area after all. And I think that's all for the unit. A very spacious townhouse. So now we are actually walking to the end of the development to check out the boundary wall as well as the shared building, which is the community center and the management office. And this will be the experience of you driving back home. You will know which neighbor is back home and all. I guess this is going to be a very small clan of neighborhood that is very close with each other. Most likely they're going to share one WhatsApp group, right? And you can see people moving in already. Therefore, it's a very interesting debate between a landed of this price range along with an apartment. So that's the front gate, and this is the back gate only for the garbage truck to access in. Well, also for maintenance purposes, just in case all these TMB elements got problems. So that's good, but I wish there would be another apron for the safety of this house. Anyway, something to point out as well, you can see you don't have those electrical poles hanging around because everything is built underground. So I like that the infrastructure is done in a modern way compared to those kind of designs back then. So at the end, you will have this playground along with that building, right? Then there will be some exercise area, and here you will get to see the backyard of this row. Okay, so you will have the kitchen space most likely to be connected to this, and this will be the perimeter. A very important point to point out, as flooding is a very common issue around this area, therefore you get to see the difference in floor level. There's a new requirement imposed by the local authorities in having at least another 7 feet, which is 2.1 meters above the existing platforms, and that hopefully can address the flooding issue around this area. But an issue like this as well, currently you still get to enjoy all these private greens, right? But it's only going to be a matter of time that this will be developed and you will be the front row seat for all the construction. And I think that's all for this visit. It's now time for Sean take 3 on 3. Let's start with the 3 things that I don't like first. The first thing that I don't like is it being in this very weird T-junction, and that seems to be the worst because it's going to be the busiest junction, and that entrance experience, you need to U-turn if you're coming from Island, or you come from the other side, right, directly from the school. You need to get this T off and you need to drive through this commercial area first before reaching the gate. And right in front of the gate you have these old wooden houses. It could have been better, but if you look into the surrounding, there's still this uncertainty where there's a lot of empty land and it's only about time. Currently, the neighborhood still get to enjoy this greenery, that privacy, that serene bird sounds. When this location picks up, all that will be gone. Then the next thing I don't really like would be the approach. So it's not that bad, it's just that I wish there could be certain more improvement. For example, the drop level, it's a little bit too high here. From the main door to the foyer, that's number one. From toilets to wet areas, that's number two. I just wish that there could be a little bit more gentle in that sense. The long staircase to the first floor, right? There could be an extra electrical point because it's going to be very dark. I wish there could be a storeroom on the ground floor, just a simple compartment for me to put my golf set maybe. And in terms of the entire development of these 54 units, right, it feels very dry because it's so hard. Everything is all concrete, columns and beams. There's no landscape treatments at all. And last of all would be the build quality. You can really see that finishings are a little bit crude. It's not that they don't give good enough specs, but just that I wish they could be a little bit more refined in certain areas. Like the walls are not even, ceilings are not even. But on the bright side of things, the structural designs and spatial layout works really nicely. Like you can see that certain areas that enjoys the full width of the space, it's amazing. So for the upper floor, we get to see that in the principal bedroom as well as the bedrooms. All that are nicely done along with the maximization of the facade. So they use up every facade they could have and they maximize out in terms of openings. That just opens up the space along with the ceiling height. So that really generous ceiling height of 3.3 meters and 3 meters on the top, and the upper floor get to enjoy that double height volume. So the heat get to escape, right? That is amazing. Because it's pretty common for a townhouse to feel congested, as the structural system can be sometimes a little bit too complicated if not paid attention. But here, even from the carport itself, it's so well done. It's very clean. The next big thing will be that price range, right? I think at this price range, you get a townhouse, a landed property in comparison to a high-rise, right? 1,600 built up unit for your entire family. So that is considered quite affordable already, surprisingly, for a Bukit Mertajam market. And we can really see the pricing of houses are really picking up in this area. So if you're a person who is really into built up number of rooms, specs against the price, not so much about experience, don't talk to me about facilities, swimming pools and all, those are not important. What's important is what's inside my house. This would be a very important deal, especially if you are already staying in this area. And last of all, I think would be that local touch developed by a local player. So they know that this area, it will be a concern in terms of flooding, there will be a concern in terms of price range and whatsoever. So we can really see the dynamics around this property market is heavily dominated by local players, and that is the rule of the game around this area. So in terms of finishing, in terms of spatial design along with specs, I think everything is just within that no need to complain, good enough range. If you want to complain, still got, but I think from a local player standpoint, it's really good enough. Plus it's a very low density project, therefore the neighborhood, this strata development itself, the communities will be very close needed and everybody will most likely know every neighbor. This number of 50 over units is pretty rare because newer developments are already more than 100 already, just for that benefit of scale, right, to bring down costs. This is going to be pretty hard to come by already. And I think that's all for this episode. Shout out to Michael, right, for showing me around this particular property. So do contact him directly. I'll put his contact down below if you're really interested. And if you really like this episode, like it, share it, and even subscribe for more information like this. Until next time, this is Sean Tan. Ciao.